Welcome back, gardeners. This is Andy with Get Your Wellies. Today we're going to do an unboxing of the GreenStalk tower, and I'm going to not plant it today, but I'm going to show you what's in this box, and then we'll put it together and see how the watering system works on it. So why don't you get your wellies, meet me in the garden. Let's see what's in here. Okay, and the list of contents is right here. This is the 5-tier leaf green, and it's an evergreen color. One spinner plus the tube. So the spinner is how we're going to turn it around when it's installed and full of soil. This is the spinner base. Looks straightforward enough. This is the water reservoir for the top. These are the pans that hold the water at each level, and then they drip through to the next tier. There are 4 of those. Some instructions. Oh, and some sweet basil seeds. That's kind of nice. Sticker. Pretty well packaged. There's our tube to fill the layers with. And these are the individual tiers. There are 5 of those. Holes in the bottom to drain through to the next level. Okay, that's everything that's in the box. So let me take a look at these instructions, and looks straightforward enough, but let's do it right the first time. Pretty good instructions, list of things you can grow in here, and then here is actually planting it, to fill and plant each one, and then how you stack them, then watering, and you fill the top reservoir until water comes out at the bottom. So I'm going to put this together and let's see how the watering system works. Okay guys, so first things first, the drainage tube, this plastic tube, plugs in on the bottom of the spinner tray. If you don't buy the spinner tray, I'm assuming you get just a flat tray that it attaches to, and the water as it seeps down through the tower will go out through these holes and drain off through your drainage tube there. This moves really freely. Obviously it'll be a lot heavier when everything's full of soil, but you get the idea. So this is pretty straightforward. I'm going to try and do it with one hand. The bottom of each layer, each tier, has these fittings on here where you can sort of see where they're going to slot in. in this empty space here. There's ribs down the inside which prevent it from going in here, so it's going to have to fit in the blank spaces. So let's do that. There we have the first one. And next we add a cup here that will hold your water. You can kind of see how this is going to work. As the water comes down, it's going to fill each level, and that will slowly drip through these holes down into the layer below. Again, these sort of are fairly obvious. Each tier is going to fit onto the shapes here that correspond with the underside, like we saw on the last one. Again, forgive me for my one-handed stuff going on here. If we get the first one on. And like I said, I'm going to do this without filling it with soil. I'm going to speed this up to make it a little bit easier for you to see what I'm doing. And then we'll come back at the end of this speed up session. And the last piece that you put on the GreenStalk is the reservoir right here. As you can see on the side, there are increments on here, 1, 2, 3 lines. This is for 3 tiers, 4 tiers, 5 tiers, and then you fill it all the way to the top if you have 6. So I'm going to get the hose and let's fill this up and we'll see how it works. As you can see, the water is just trickling through all of those holes. What looks like a pretty even distribution of the water throughout the vertical garden. Actually gives you a pretty good idea how this works. And then the overflow is going to come out of your tube at the bottom, so you can put that off in the grass or wherever you want that. You could even collect it, I suppose, for use in a watering can or something like that. Anyway, that is, oh, Chrissy's getting her a little drink. That is the GreenStalk. This is very nice. I'm looking forward to trying it. I'm gonna decide where I'm gonna put this. I'll fill it with soil and I'll show you what it looks like when I've got some plants in it. Well guys, here we are 2 days later. We had quite a few storms come through. As you can see, our backyard's pretty waterlogged. But this is actually where we're gonna keep the GreenStalk. So I'm gonna plant a few strawberries in it now with the break in the rain, and I will show you that here in just a minute. But we like the way this looks. It looks quite pretty on our patio. And it'll be useful so we can turn it every other day, make sure all the plants get plenty of sunlight. And it's a pretty nice piece of equipment. So let me plant it. I'll give you a look at that. I'll be back in a few minutes. All right, gardeners. So here we are with some plants in here. Put some strawberry plants in the top. There are some runners. So the second row is mostly small runners that I've been able to plant in there. So those top couple of tiers, I'm gonna have strawberries this year. The lower three, I'm gonna plant probably some marigolds and maybe some basil. But I'll let you know when we do our garden tours what's going in there. I hope this has been an interesting overview of the GreenStalk. I hope you may be inspired to look at some options for vertical gardening, especially those of you who are dealing with small space gardening. I think this is going to be a really great addition. There's really no limit to what you could plant in here. I've seen people on YouTube doing all kinds of things, melons, squash. The limitations, as far as I'm concerned, the only ones I can really see is you are effectively planting in fairly small pots. This is the leaf edition of the GreenStalk. The original has deeper pockets. These are going to extend further down. You can mix and match those if you want to. If you go to GreenStalk's website, you can see that. But to me, that is maybe the only limitation. If you have big, hungry plants like squash, tomatoes, you could grow them in here, but you're going to have to give them a lot of attention, a lot of watering needs, and also a lot of feeding needs. So I'm going to stick to mostly smaller things, feed them periodically, check the soil frequently, and of course watering this is easy. This comes up to a little above my waist, probably I would say about 4.5 feet tall, but easy for me to get the hose and fill that up. We've been dealing with so much rain. As I worked with planting these strawberries, there was a lot of moisture in that soil, so I'm not going to water them now. Anyway, stay tuned for how these strawberries do, what else we plant in here, and of course garden tours are upcoming in a couple more weeks. So glad you came to the channel. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. Check out some of our other videos, particularly if you're looking to grow in a rocky place or small space. Check out the wicking tub video and making soil video. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you next time. Until then, happy gardening. Bye now.